Hi everybody. So so yeah, so like I feel like there was it was very, very interesting. This week has been very interesting because I know Chris Duncan said that it's gonna feel slow until it goes fast. And then like I say, it was a 2 day span. And then I was like, okay, I want to drive. I want to drive my new truck, mind you. I don't want to be driving when I'm driving, but I'm like
Yeah.
instantly after he almost hit the deer and all that stuff, and I was like, I want to be the driver. Like if he's going to be this distracted from whatever is going on upstairs right now, I'm like, I want to drive. But he was very like, you're the girl, like even though I've got 10, 15 years on him for driving per se,
Right.
I'm like, he likes to feel that masculine energy, right? He likes to feel the man of the house, he's the driver. Like, and it was that like that in my household too. My dad was a driver until I was the driver. My sister was the driver. Like me and my sister both took after my father. We're like, we're the drivers now. And I drove my whole life. I drove for my job. I drove everywhere.
Yeah.
Everything I did was driving until my pain took over. And that was also what kind of, hi, Rustin. That also, hey, he's our guest speaker today.
You said hi. No,
um,
he's like, I can't hear.
no, because I'm in your head.
I know, literally.
Oh, that's because I'm in
More
your
ways than
head.
one. No, I'm just playing.
Wow. I heard that.
But yeah, so I was like, I've always been the driver until my pain got bad. Then when my pain got bad, he had no choice but to drive because the drugs made me like woozy. Like I couldn't drive at night. I could only drive for like an hour at a time, which I'm like, I'm that driver that I'll drive for 22 hours straight, like dead, dead ass, like freaking love to drive. Always been a driver.
Yep.
And since I was old enough to be and allowed to drive, I drove. Like this was my freedom. Like being behind the wheel is my freedom. And I was like, man, like I feel trapped. And I'm like, the only thing that's gonna like breaking me free from that is gonna be being back behind the wheel and driving. So we get pulled over. And now I'm the driver. And then um and then he started talking about this job last week and he thought he was gonna get hired over the weekend. They ended up firing one of the guys over the weekend and hiring him, and he started today. So, and then he's like, well, I'll have to tell them that I can't work the weekend because I'm the mascot. We are the mascot at the hockey fest this weekend. And I finally had the chance, like, because we picked up his brother because they're working at the same place now. And I was like, look, I was like, you told my friend you're gonna fix your car. I'm like, please don't be that guy. That I know you're going through some shit where you're staying. I'm like, but please don't be that guy. Like, can you at least like keep in contact with us? Like, we still have work that we need to do on our car. And I know, no, excuse me, where he's been working hasn't, or where he was living is living, hasn't been the friendliest place to be. The guy hasn't been overly sensible or whatever. But I'm like, there has to, we have to figure something out, right? So I finally got to have that conversation with him this morning, which was nice. And but yeah, so just the fact that Brandon in the midst of last week, everything that has changed. Wow. I'm like literally from like feeling like, oh my God, it's not going anywhere to okay, okay, I'm good. And feeling into it because like last night when he told me he started work today, I'm like, I was like, all of a sudden I instantly like, okay, the inconveniences. I have to be the driver. Fine, that's fine. I'm like, we're 30 minutes away from home, which isn't actually bad. We thought it was going to take longer. It's 35, 40 minutes from home. So not terrible. And like we left the house, we ended up having to drive back up because he forgot his work boots. We drive back up. We're there at like 5 to 7 or 5 to 6. And because he starts work at 7. So we're leaving our place at 6. We got down into town, picked up his brother, and found the workplace, and it wasn't even 20 to 7 yet. So it's definitely not as far as he anticipated. The traffic's not that bad that early in the morning, so it's not a difficult drive either. And he's like, well, it's not that far, so it's not as bad as I thought it was going to be. And I was like, fair enough, because we're like an hour there, an hour back, and I was like, I'll just stick around. But then I'm leaving my cat all day, and I didn't want that either. But he didn't bring a lunch today, so I'm like, well, I know the cat's safe. She was in the closet when we left, and I mean, it's only 8 hours, and she's an outside cat. She spends 8 hours overnight outside, so like, who am I to judge my cat, right?
Too.
Like and I left music on for, like if anybody goes by, it's going to sound like at least somebody's there, even though our car is not there. And that's the other thing. If he's working 8 hours a day, like I don't mind being at the house. Like if anything, it's just gonna end up super, super clean. And and I
Yeah.
you know, like all the stuff that he's like, it's
Mhm.
already clean. And I'm like, we have different versions of clean.
Right, right.
So there's
No, for sure.
definitely some stuff that I'm gonna like work on while he's at work and stuff like that at the house. But today being his first day, I wanted to be down here just in case they end up off early, which I can't see, but just the fact that he doesn't have a lunch, if they need a ride for lunch or whatever, then he doesn't have any like dollars on him either. So I'm kind of the source of cash at this point. So I'm like, I'll stick around down here. The lake is beautiful. It's so warm. I'm actually gonna throw my bathing suit on after like Yuki's call and
Oh,
hop in the lake
fun.
for a swim. I was like 6 in the morning, so I was 27. I'm walking just because I'm wearing a dress. I'm wearing a hoodie over my dress because you know I'm that type of Canadian. So
Wow.
so I went for a walk through the lake with my shoes on. I have sandals on and it was so warm and I'm like, oh my god, if I was wearing my bathing suit right now I probably would have just like hopped in the lake because it was like, oh my goodness, it's so
Wow.
warm. But there's so many geese, I was like, I don't want to get beat up by the geese either. They're mean. Cobra chickens, like they're mean creatures. So I was like, and they overrun the beach before the people come. So I was like, maybe not, maybe I don't want to swim with the cobra chickens, but we'll see. And then I went live on Facebook, which I seen you pop in. And then I was live on TikTok and I got to talk to Pri. And met another Canadian. I don't know. I think we follow each other. I mean, I think we might, but either way, he stuck around for a bit. And then my wifey came in, Adrian. She's awesome. She's down. Where the hell is she? She's in Alabama, I believe. And yeah, it was a productive morning, even just in the last 2 hours. Probably more like, I mean, the only thing I feel kind of space cadet-y, I did not do a full meditation. I did a grounding and then it was supposed to be book club and then she didn't show up. So I went live on Facebook and then I was like, oh, you know what? I'm just going to keep the trend going and I'm going to see what TikTok looks at like at 8. I was going to do Instagram, but then I decided on TikTok. Might do Instagram later. I still have the whole day to kill. I'll have Yuki's dog and I still have like 5 hours to kill. But yeah, I started getting into it like almost like an inconvenienced kind of feeling about him working. And I'm like, no. I'm like, you know, so this was kind of like the test run to see, because there's going to be days where I'm going to just tell him to take the car, you know, and I'll just stay home, clean at the house, like versus using all the gas to go back and forth and stuff like that. It doesn't make sense to do that so all the time anyways. But Wednesdays I'll definitely take him and drop him off. That way I can go to the gym. It's usually him that wants to go swimming and stuff like that, which is why I end up missing book club, so I can do my workout and hop into book club and not go swimming that day, right? And I can so it's like not a big deal to me. And then he'll want to shower afterwards, so I'll just do my gym class and then I'll wait till he gets off of work and then go to shower after work. So you know, like, so I can just literally finish the class, throw you in my head, and away I go. And so I'm super excited to be able to do that. So I was like, that's actually better. I'm like that, you know, like then I get my workout and my book club. I'm like, yay.
Exactly. Sounds like so cool. Yeah, sounds like a productive morning. The other thing too is like it sounds like kind of things are happening fast and decisions are being made.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So like they don't seem large, but I mean maybe they are. And, I mean each little decision and each little action step all is towards the large thing. So it'll be interesting just to kind of see what, you know, how it manifests and everything. Because that's a lot of like people don't really talk about it a lot of like couples or you know that are manifesting, and it's like because I remember before they'd be like, oh, like it's super powerful because you guys are in the same work, and I'm like, yeah, except we're not always on the same page. Just like we are in the sense of like, you know, staying together and I guess or whatever, but like in terms of like, you know, because at one point I was like, okay, do I move back home to California? Like, do we, like, I was like all over the map. And then he was like, nope, we're doing this. And I was like, so there are times where I can see that it took longer because we weren't aligned.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, it's all divine timing. So it's not like I'm having regrets, but I just mean that I can see, like, looking back.
And
Because
that's
it
just
is
it. And
really
that's like,
powerful when we have two people that are on the same thing, but you have to make sure that you both are on the exact same, okay, we're going here, we're doing this, we're da da da, you know what I mean, whatever. And
yeah,
then it's
because that
like
that
so
energy
much more
almost becomes
powerful.
your that energy almost becomes your
Mhm.
counter manifester. And
Yeah,
like, and
yeah.
that's, he was anti-money. And this is where I know
Mhm.
why my money energy was so slow to get to me. And I know that this was one of the biggest shifts that had to take place, was him being excited to be back to work, to make money doing something he loves. Because
Yeah.
and he actually listened to Joe Vitale with me with the money love speed thing, because like I said, I bought that
Mhm.
$3, I ended up spending $12 because I bought two parts of it, which included the money love speed, the money love speed book. If you haven't read that,
Yeah.
read that book. 100% read money
What
love
is it
speed.
called? Money Love Speed?
Money
That's the
love
name of the book?
speed. Yep. And it's short. I mean, it was a 2 hour and 12-minute listen. Like it's a shorter book, but man, the information in there. The
Yeah.
one big piece that made sense to me, which is something that I'm going to spread around the group, is because like Tom's very much the money, I love money, money loves me. But when you actually, and he really brings this up, and he really emphasizes this, he's like, when people think money is evil, and having money is evil, it's because in the Bible it says the love of money is like against the like
Mhm.
is against whatever, however he puts it very well. He reads it, I believe, from the Bible. But the love
Yeah.
of money, right? So
Mhm.
don't love the money, love what you're going to
Right.
do with the money, love
Right.
your mission. And so that
Mhm.
is one of the biggest things, because that hit, like that literally, like that kind of was like, you know what, I get that, because again, like it's love energy, but how can you utilize money as a tool, because it's not necessarily always going to be money. So if you love money, that means when money disappears, it's going to feel like a loss, you're back in your lack.
Mhm.
If
Mhm.
you love your mission, the universe is going to give you what you ask for to support that mission.
Mhm.
You get to love, 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 but money loves appreciation. So now you have gratitude, because now you have that money. You're super thankful for it, because you're always going to have the money to go to your mission. The money is the tool, not the love of money.
Yeah.
Right. So that
Yeah.
like hit somewhere deep inside of me. And instantly
Mhm.
Brandon gets a job. And and all of the little things start adding up. And I'm like, I'm like, it's the little things, it's the little energy tweaks here and there. Because I'm like, I know
Yeah.
I'm at the end. I know it's mine. I can see it all. I absolutely have no doubt in my mind that I manifested everything, that I'm in alignment with everything that I want, that my mission is like, more than worthy, that I am more than worthy, even
Mhm.
without my mission. Like all of those little beliefs that were nagging at me are gone. But Brandon kept saying money is evil, money's the root of all evil. I'm like, it's not though.
Mhm.
I said, put money with a gun and leave it on a porch and tell me which one shoots each other first. I
Yeah,
said,
right?
neither the gun nor the money are going to shoot each other.
Yeah.
They need a person to
Yep.
do that. And
Yep.
like I'm like, money isn't evil. And yes, I've had and I had to fix my own belief about money, because whenever I've had money in the past, it never made anything better. Everything just stayed the same. But that was because I was the same. I was the same
Yeah.
with money at
Yeah.
that time. I didn't change anything about me. The money went up, my
Yep.
spending went up. Somebody else needed my money. I had money, I gave it away. Which is noble, I suppose, in some ways, but at the same time, it just made me live in lack and work more to bring in more, just to either spend more on stupid things or have somebody steal it or whatever. The lifestyle I was in
Yep.
allowed that to happen, right? Like, I was like,
Yeah.
I wasn't different. I'm like,
Yep.
everything about me is
Exactly.
different now. Everything about what I want is different now. I mean, essentially, I've always wanted to help people beyond money, because I've always seen how money only helped for a minute. It's just like teach a man to fish and you fish him forever. If you give a man a fish, he eats for a day.
Yep.
And like all of those little things. So I mean, I knew that I had done a really good job of working through my feelings about money. But then as we were listening to the Joe Vitale, he's like, I get it. And I understand. And I could see light bulbs. And he was absolutely like into the book. And he was, and he was excited. And he's like, you know what? You're right. He's right. And then he talks about tithing and putting 10% of your money towards your spiritual mentors. And I started to argue. And he's like, Laura, he's like, how much of your money right now do you put towards your spiritual mentors? And I said, 35%.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Like legit, between the payments to Yuki and my other mentor, Jen, I bet 35% of my income goes to
Yeah.
tithing at this point. And I'm like,
Yep.
fair enough. I'm like, fair enough. I'm like, I get it. I'm like, okay, absolutely, 100%. I totally get it. I was doing it
Wow.
naturally. It
Yeah.
wasn't
Yeah.
like there was no mental attachment to it. I knew I wanted to be in certain energies, and I put myself in those energies by doing what I had to do and paying for programs and all of those things. And
Mm-hmm.
and all of the things. So it's yeah, very, very interesting how that kind of took place with behind my back, so I'm like,
Yeah.
so I wasn't even worried about all those extra like limiting beliefs because I was very much so already working through them. But Joe Vitale definitely says things a few different ways, adds a few different things. Really, really loved the book. It really made a lot of sense to me, um and stuff like that. And those were like the two key things that I really took from it. It is what we accept, and love your mission, love what you're doing, and then tell the universe that you need money to do what you're doing to make it easier for you to for the love of your mission. You want that money, and that you need that money, and that's where the numbers come in. So um and I've already just loved my mission. That's been what I've been going for. But then as soon as Brandon had that kind of shift, his job came, and I'm like,
Mhm.
oh, that happened so fast. And I'm like, here come the clients, here comes the
Right?
money, right?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, legit my abundance. Like,
Bonding.
yeah, abundance, yeah. And so yeah, so it's very, very exciting. But then again, then my ego pipes up. Again, you brought somebody else their money, you brought somebody else to their, you know,
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm like, yeah, fair enough. I said, but you know what? But I'm happy with that. And that's going to benefit me because again, I know it's already shifted so much in him. And actually, like 4 days ago, he looks at me, he goes, you know what? I feel the best that I did since I was 18 years old. He goes, mentally, physically, spiritually. He goes, I thank you so much. And so this is where, and again, I don't want to like put this all over the internet. So this was part of a conversation that will continue after. But that took me to like back to where I was kind of at to see like how things are kind of progressively moving forward and possible chords and connections and ties that he's actually facing. And it's very
Mm.
interesting because the last dragon that I pulled, because I've decided that I really want to get close to each of my guides. So I did a week of dragons, I'm doing a week of angels, and
I
I'm
love it.
gonna do the week of my forest creatures, and then I'm gonna just basically spend a week with each of my deck and then rotate back to the first deck. And I'm literally just getting to know all of my spirit guides, how they feel, what it looks like when I sleep, like all of those things.
Yeah.
Both my dragon, the last card I pulled for my dragon was cutting cords and karmic ties. So, and it says, send it to whoever needs it. And it crosses my mind to send it to him. And then there's almost like maybe like my, like that, because the energetic cord would be between us. So it's like, but I sent it to him. And then all of a sudden, like I say, like everything started moving forward for him. So I feel like it's just slowly working its way
Love
through,
it.
right? Um, the first angels that came out, cutting karmic ties and energetic cords,
Wow.
and stepping forward with your divine purpose was comes from my dragons and my angels, who do operate on the same plane, which I does remind me. I did take a picture of that page that I read from that day that I shared with Jan's call, where he wanted to hear more about like the angels and their
Oh yeah, 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 yeah.
so I got to remember to post that in the school group. But I
Okay.
did take the
Yeah, I
picture.
was
I
like,
just
I didn't
haven't.
see it.
Yeah, I took the picture but forgot to post it.
Okay, cool. Cool, cool, cool.
So yeah, I have to remember to do that. I'll do that probably after a call or after Yuki's call. But yeah, it was very interesting, and it is kind of, and it's interesting. It's cool. It's exciting because it's just, I've been doing the energetic cord tying, like when I've done about 3 super conscious, like really large super conscious recos for people in the last
Mhm.
week. And like the big ones, the ones like I did one with Liz yesterday, and when I got to her nervous system, my neck popped so loud that Brandon was like, "Are you good?" And I'm like, I'm like, "Yep." I'm like, "That was interesting."
Mm.
And going through and cutting those cords and cutting those ties energetically, like karmically, and just all doing all of that. And it's like just been like, and I know that it's going deep within some of the chords that I maybe retied, like, because I know like this is like an ongoing thing. And as different things come through, and as you have different triggers, you can end up retying some of the older karmic and old, even like this lifetime ties if somebody comes up and somebody triggers. So that's been like really powerfully coming up my way, and it's something that I've really sat with. And even in having Lynn do that reading for me, and in recognizing that I was still had that karmic tie to my past, and that, you know, that just a definite feeling towards my past. And you know, and I could talk more, like I could go super deep personal and say that you know, like my sister turns 40 on Saturday. Haven't heard a bloody
Mm.
word from any of my family about if they're
Mm.
doing anything or whatever. And then I look back at my 40th birthday. My sister gave me a card about a week after my birthday when I went home to her. And I think my parents may have shown, I think I actually had to drive home and go to dinner with my parents. Like they didn't come to me. I had to get to them. So like when I'm like, you know, so those are kind of the things where like before that would have stung, you know, would have stung to say that out loud. But there's like no, actually, like there's no sadness, there's no anger, there's no, I'm like, I just recognize them as their souls doing their soul thing. And you know, so that part feels good. But I know that's been like I think that's one of the energetic chords that, especially coming up so close to my sister's 40th, and still that like, but I ended up having to work this weekend. So, and my car is still broken, and I still haven't, I'm just in the process of getting my post office box so I can actually go get my license mailed back out to me, because right now it's a picture on my phone. And all of that kind of stuff. So yeah, it's very interesting. And how's packing going?
Going great. Give me 1 sec. I just want to tell Rustin something.
Sure.
All right, it was like a bit, somebody messaged me about a business thing. I'm like,
Oh, yay.
well, somebody asked me and I was like, this is a question for you, so hold on. But I didn't want to like shout in your ear.
No,
Yeah,
all
you know what?
good.
I've been there too. Like, obviously I don't live in the same state as my family, so it's not like they can just pop over here. But it definitely
Yeah, me
was like
neither.
each birthday it was, you know, like a thing. Like we'd go out to dinner, or we'd do some, you know, big thing. And I have noticed like in the past, probably a good year or so now, like it's very like it'll just be a text, happy birthday, you know, both sides, and like not even a phone call, nothing. Like it's very, you know, kind of but I had to like, and this is just for me, but like through, you know, my spiritual journey, I was like, okay, what's like, because I used to like heavily react inside
Yeah. Oh yeah, me too.
to all, you know, like all to all that. And then I was like, what's bothering you? Like what's, you know, why is this? And it was because I equated like gifts, and it didn't
To
matter
your
what it was.
burden.
I'm not saying, you know, it has to be a
Mhm.
diamond or anything, like, but as like the worthiness and like it equals love. So like if you don't get a gift, then that mean, you know what I mean?
Yep.
And I uncovered that and I was like, wow, I've been carrying that around for 40 years. That's wild. Like, I mean,
Right.
unconsciously, of course. And I was like, oh my gosh. So now, because I'm very sentimental person. So like, it doesn't have to be like, you know, like I said, this thing. It could be like a flower you picked from my yard, or it could be like a,
Yeah.
you know, whatever. My kids draw me pictures and stuff. And so now I try to be that for them. Like, so, like, yeah, we don't send gifts either, but like what we do is we'll wait for a moment where all five of us are in the same room, and we'll literally create a video, like singing
Yeah.
happy birthday, or like even one year I made for my sister-in-law, like, oh, it took me forever, but um I compiled, it's what app did I use? I don't know. I used some app, and I had compiled a whole bunch of photos of all of us together. And then I asked my brother, like, what's her favorite song? I don't even remember what it is now. Oh, like New Kids on the Block or NSYNC or something, right? She's the same age as me. And so I compiled the photos so that it literally goes like the first one, it says like happy birthday, we love you or whatever. And then it goes through the photos as the song is playing. And at the end it like trails out and then it's like, oh, we love you, blah. This whole like thing, it was like 2-minute video or whatever. And she was like, oh my God, I love it. So just stuff like that where it's like, yeah, it didn't cost me any money, but like it's still,
Yeah.
that. But the important part, and now we don't do any of those things, but it's like still understanding that like the love is within for one, and then
Yes.
figured out like why it bugged me so. I love it. What's up, buddy? He's literally, I don't know if you can see, but he's literally on the counter. What?
Oh, shoot.
You want to make toast? Okay, yeah, that's not right there, Lovey. It's like, "I wanna make toast." I'm like, it's not up there. The toast is over here, and then it's right here, buddy. We do the well, we can put some more in there. I can make some more. Okay.
Have you?
I'll show you. Can you get down? Handshake. Yeah, it's not in there. Handshake. Okay, but you'll figure out yourself that it's not in there. We do this thing where and this is like from when I was a kid, my aunt would always do it, but she'd have like the shaker and it would be sugar and then cinnamon.
Cinnamon. Oh yeah, I love it.
For
We have
toast,
like,
you know what I mean?
yep.
And we use like the granulated sugar or whatever. When you're done, can you help him? He wants to do the cinnamon and sugar thing, but it's out in the container. Anyways, and so he's like, well, I can't do it because there's none in there. I'm like, dude, we make it ourselves, literally with sugar.
Yeah.
And that's really the only thing that we like actually. Actually, I have 2 things of sugar. One is just for that and some randomness we use, and a whole other container is just for the hummingbirds.
Oh, that's
There's a
awesome.
big old like, what is it, like 2 pounds of sugar or whatever? And it's
Yeah.
literally just
Just for the
for
hummingbirds.
the hummingbirds,
That's awesome.
which it was super funny. Russ is like, well, isn't that unhealthy for them? And I was like, dude, I don't know what else they eat. Like, and maybe it could be, as I'm saying this, actually, I'm thinking that maybe because because sugar in and of itself isn't bad. Like I've changed my, we choose not to eat a ton of it, but I don't eat it like, oh my God, this is so terrible for me. But what I'm thinking is like, because, and we actually do need sugar for, if you get into all the science of it and everything like that. So I'm wondering if like, because they're just so, because even for them to fly is like,
They burn
holy
so
shit.
many
I mean,
calories, like
so
even for how
yeah, yeah,
small they are. Like, yeah,
that's what I'm thinking. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I haven't looked into it. I don't know the science behind it, but that's just what I was thinking of as I'm speaking right now. Like,
yeah, no,
packing's
it
going
makes
good
sense.
though.
Good.
It's just a lot of little, I guess details, if you will, of like, because originally we were just going to clean ourselves.
Yeah.
I'm like, literally, we'll just finish out a room. I'll clean as we go. And then I'm like, okay, we have 13 freaking windows and they all have the vinyl slat blinds. There's no way that I'm sitting there and like, da da da. That's just windows. That's just blinds. Now you're talking about the windows. Then you're talking about like, there's cubby holes built in like every room. Like, I'm like,
So
ooh.
okay, so what you're gonna want to get, and this is what I did, and it works so freaking well for the blinds and everything. For one, like the Swiffer, like, and it with
Yeah,
an
I got one of those.
extendable
Yeah, that's
post.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so that
Yeah.
is perfect for the blinds. Um, a squeegee for your windows, just so you're just like your handle squeegee. Yeah.
Actually, I do have one.
Yeah, yeah. If you don't, dollar store usually carries them as well. So, and you can
Yep.
get different like length of poles if you need taller ones or whatever, or the extendable ones. Those aren't too bad either. For the walls, sponge mops, and just throw a sponge mop and sponge away. And
Yeah.
I lived with a smoker and he wasn't supposed to smoke in the house and he always smoked in the house. And when I washed the walls, it took me like 3 washings, but that sponge mop saved my life. Like legit, wash the shit out of everything, ceilings, the works, just wash it all. And yeah, the sponge mop was absolutely amazing. And takes like 1/8 of the time as trying to do this. And then of course a squeegee for the windows, pew, pew, done. Right? Like, yeah, those would be my 3 tools. I was a precision cleaner for apartment buildings and so on. So yeah, as a precision cleaner, a professional cleaner in my old days, in the old story.
Yep.
those were my three favorite tools for if I was doing like cleaning for like movie notes and stuff like that.
Yeah. There's that and what else? Hi. And just the normal stuff and figuring out the truck and then like the
Mhm.
time frame for how long we want it here and then driving and then there and like all that stuff. So it's just
Yep.
little things, little details, I guess.
Yep. Yeah, I haven't moved. So when I moved the provinces, when I moved from Alberta to BC, I mean, and this is like we don't, and that's just it. I don't live in the same province. My parents live here over the winter time, which is nice, but over the summer we're in two different provinces. And I've literally
Mm,
showed up like 4 times this year already, which is more than I've ever been able to show up before. And this time the world, I think, has really just made it clear that I need to break that particular energetic cord. And not because we don't have a good relationship or that it or whatever, but I think it was one that was really limiting like some of my growth and just like that self-worth aspect. Like you say, like the gifts, like and and I never attributed it to that before. Like I've started doing the paintings and like the handmade cards and stuff like that. And the last one I did for my sister, I didn't even get a thank you for it. It was made out of real gold. Like I put real gold flakes on it and everything. And like I don't even remember getting a thank you from her. So, like I'm like, and I get that she's got a 9-year-old and that life is hectic and all of the things. And I don't have the kid. Like I don't. And so it's like I understand the shift and the change. There was a time probably even months ago where this would have been a sobbing conversation versus like a logical, well, she's a soul on a journey and yes, she's a big part of my life and is always going to be a big part of my life, whether she has me a big part of her life or not. um I had also made the decision that I didn't want to go to her birthday to spend 15 minutes while she's running around the house doing everything for everybody else and not actually get time with her and make face with people who don't care if I exist or not. So it's like, I'm like, meh, I'm good. I'm good either way, right? So, and the fact that I haven't heard from her and it's Tuesday and her birthday's Saturday. So if I was being invited to something, it hasn't happened yet, and I need some form of a notice. But at the same time, like I said, I was like, you know what? No, I love being the anonymous smile. I love being the why. And Hockey Fest like is just super cool. And had they put it out there, had they even reached out to me and said, hey, we're looking for something to do for her birthday, come to Kelowna, come to Hockey Fest. I'm the why. So not only will you probably have to pay to get in, but you'll get all the behind the scenes things because guess what? You're my family. And the why people will be like, oh yeah, go ahead. Because I've done so much for volunteering in the mascot and other things around and those things. So, they're very accommodating. So they could have paid to get in and done everything. There would have been no extra card, no net, nothing. But they didn't, they haven't even like not even a message lately. So I'm like, um, there was a couple of weeks after my jump that we talked regularly for a little while and then nothing again. So, like I'm like, and I've consistently been the one to reach out. And yes, there was the 3 years where my pain was so bad that I didn't talk to anybody. And I know that's what really kind of severed maybe some of that closeness and that and just moving to BC alone. Cause I'm sure if I look back, like it's been me making the effort for a very long time. And I don't think I was willing to acknowledge that. Because even like when I was dying in the hospital, nobody came to see me. Like nobody. I would have died in that hospital alone if I didn't make it out. And that's like, and that was a harsh reality even then, like to really like talk about. And now again, it's like I'm the observer of that experience and stuff like that. But like it's like the absolute truth. Like I would have died alone in that hospital bed. My boyfriend at the time wasn't showing up. His mom and sister actually came and spent like 3 or 4 days when I first went into the hospital. They kept showing up and coming to visit. But they lived again like an hour and a half or two. No, they lived like 3 hours away from us. So, they had to go home and, and continue their lives. But yeah, they showed up for a few days. And then like after that, I got to know a lot of people in that hospital. So, but obviously like, but even then when I look back at that, I'm like, man, if I would have actually, because I had watched The Secret the year before that happened, but I watched bits and pieces of it. I didn't sit down and like flat out like watch The Secret, like I just kind of caught bits and pieces. and I was busy taking care of the kid and doing that kind of stuff. I had my stepdaughter at that time living with us when we watched it, so I was up and down, up and down, up and down. I didn't, I was listening, but I wasn't listening. And but I had that belief, the manifestation, the creating your life. Like I did that at that point, I had seen myself manifest. I had seen certain things like shift certain ways when I did certain things. And I was like, oh, there's got to be something to that. But then I didn't recognize and understand the counter part of the manifesting, and would see how things would go, and then things weren't going that way. And I was like, oh, that shit's bullshit, because like it wouldn't be happening if this was, like as we do. Welcome to the ego. Yay. And then like when my appendix burst and I lived, and I was like, I ended up in survivor's guilt with everybody else that had passed away around me. Like, why me? I can't have kids. I wasn't happy in my relationship by that point. There had been a lot that happened, and I was just looking to get out. My appendix burst, and I get survivor's guilt instead of actually, stepping forward into the spiritual journey and actually, appreciating the body's ability to heal and all of those things. So, I kind of went backwards there. So that's why I feel like my pain came on the way that it did, because that almost killed me. My uterus crushed my intestines. Shortly after, ended up with another huge scar down my stomach. And then the pain. So the pain was the one thing that wasn't going to physically kill me. Like there was nothing wrong with, as far as the doctor said, there's nothing wrong with you. It's all in your head. Yeah, it was. But I don't like being told that, especially not that time of my life. But right, like that used to be the worst saying to me. It's all in your head. It's like, no, technically everything that we see and do and everything is literally in our heads. So I'm like, well, I get it now, but back then I did not. And right, like it was a hard statement. There's a lot of people that still hate hearing that it's all in your head. It's like, okay, but I can now, it's like now with the process that saved my life, that I've been using to change so many other lives, it's like you're still not going to appreciate it for quite some time, because I know like after my pain lifted, I was still like against going with that oh, it's all in my head. But I definitely understand that a lot more, and it's not offensive anymore. Because it's like, no, you're telling me you're crazy. It's like, no, because that too is a part of your thinking and your thoughts and being in your head. My body hurts. Yep, but your brain creates that pain. Your brain is telling your body to react that way. Cancer, any of the things, if you're it's all negative thinking. It's all hating something. Hate kills our body, and it's just that simple. So but if it was that simple, then why doesn't everybody else change their minds about it? Because we've grown accustomed and comfortable in the negative way of thinking. Because if we have it all, then we run into that fear of losing it. And like there's so much to heal to get to a place. We've allowed ourselves just to go so deep and so disconnected from our higher selves and from source and from the universe that it's a long trek back. For a lot of people, it's a long trek back for a lot of people. It was a long trek back for me, because after my pain lifted, I thought everything was going to be perfect. But that was like when I look at the experiences and the near-death experiences and the ability that the positive thinking, and I can say that like I was never been a hateful person. I've never found hate really for many, like maybe one or two people in my life where I was like, man, I don't even really hate them. I just hate how they are. And I'm so changing and being that positive person. I can say that that's probably that positive thinking, and everything's going to be okay, and I can get through this, and life is great. Fake it till you make it. And I believe that saved my life on multiple occasions. And when I got to the point there where the pain was so bad that I wanted to take my own life, then I found the process that saved my life that has taken me on this next journey that brought me in. But yeah, the little things, like I used to move like all the time. So I totally get the little things and stuff like that, which is why like I looked at Brandon and I was like, man, if things work out and things like look just as different as they do today, and like and keep continuing to progress as quickly forward as I feel like they're about to, I'm like, yeah, I may go for a weekend or like a couple days through the week or whatever, and just give you guys a hand finishing up and getting on the road. So I'm like, I put it out there. We'll see if I can pull it off, or see if the universe is going to let me pull it off. Because at this point, I'm like, divine timing and divine this, divine that. Because I
100%.
realize as much as I create my life and know what I want, the universe still has like its own thing. And there's still maybe that limited human type thinking of it's like this or something better.
Mhm.
But I know
Yeah,
is Yuki
100%.
starting the music like 5 minutes early? Does he want to start 5 minutes early for the music? The
I
song that
don't
he
think
played.
I don't think he's doing it like last time.
Okay.
I think at 1 or not 1, it's not even 1 my time. At
Noon.
in 5 minutes he's starting
Yes.
the music.
Okay.
Ah, but yeah, this is what he does.
Yesterday's first song, My Claire Audio for the last 2 weeks. The fact that he's doing
Wow.
I even said that I was like, and this is the second song in what 3 or 4 weeks that he's played. That was My Claire Audio. I'm like, why did you pick that song? Or that one day
Wow.
in our class, I was like,
Mhm.
why did you pick that song? And he's like, because you dreamt about it. And I'm like, and that was my first comment
I
in
love
the
when he said
in the thing yesterday was like, why does he keep playing the songs that are My Claire Audio? And I was like, I already know the answer to it, but it's just like, wow.
right?
I'm like the entanglement of me like August 1st being like, okay, money is my focus this month. I am going to get through whatever limiting beliefs, whatever focus, whatever has been holding me back from money. And like, and I
Yeah.
can't say that it hasn't because
Just-
Brandon working on its own is like not my money per se, but it definitely is a flow in my direction that can allow more flow to take place. And so like it's just especially like once he gets his license back, like I mean I and it's interesting having like the premonition sides of things and like the intuitive sides of things and that kind of stuff happening versus like it's very interesting to know that something so huge is coming that my brain is still like not kind of like wrapping its whole head around it. So it's exciting. It's super exciting. Like even with it, like there's this excitement building up inside of me that is like just like huge right now. And I mean it I just, yeah, I can't. I don't even know how to put that into words. Like, I'm super excited to see you guys get to Florida, and I'm super
Yeah.
excited to see your place in Florida.
Same.
And I'm just, oh my gosh, it's just so
And I
many.
think he's
exciting
actually
things.
said, I think he actually said he's gonna be talking about being open receive today, which is right on
Yeah,
track for us all.
right, exactly. Because
Both
that's
of
just it.
us.
I've worked hard my whole life. Like that was one of the limiting beliefs that I know that has been very much addressed. It's the fact that
Yeah.
I've been working on not knowing that I didn't have to work hard, that I've been taking the intuitive action that I've created based on all of the action. Like I'm not worried about what I'm not doing because I know that as soon as an intuition hits me, that's what I'm doing. However,
Yeah.
up until like this last couple of weeks, I had that ache of I'm not doing enough. I need to do more. I need to do this. I need to do that. I need. I need to try. I
Yep.
need to do. And those, if you're in that energy, then you're not open to receive and you need to balance your energies. So I've been very, very much attuned to, no, I am done. I'm done working hard. I've taken the intuitive action. I'm ready to receive. I am open to receive. And then I'm like, but I don't want to be bored either. You know, like I want to do certain things. I want to have a full calendar because I don't want to be bored. I don't want to just be laying there meditating, watching Netflix. Like, yes, I know I'm worthy
Yeah.
of being paid laying there watching Netflix, but that's not what I see as fun. So,
Well, that's not the impact that you want to make. Yeah, 100% makes sense.
exactly. All right.
All right. Well, this
So,
has been a great recording, and I'll see
yes,
you in 2 minutes.
yes, I love you. And yes, see you in 2
Yay,
minutes. And
love
thank you everybody
you.
for watching. Bye.
Thanks.